If you're an educator or you're in education, K-12, higher ed, and you're thinking, what in the world is ChatGPT? Why do students feel like they need to use it? And I don't know what to do with it. Well, welcome. Most of the country or the world is like, what is it? But there are many people that are using it to help them with getting ideas and becoming creative and maybe just some homework help. What I'd like to do is I want to show you what it is. If you are not sure what it is and you want just a brief introduction, watch this video that is in the right corner, and then come back to this video. But if you feel like you just want to see what ChatGPT is and you want to get a scope of as to what you can do with it and why you should even consider it, I'm going to show you that now. I personally believe it's really fun and I love working with ChatGPT, but I also want to just tell you one thing. If you can do something quickly in less than a few minutes and it's a creative idea that you can write quickly, a few sentences, a paragraph, do it on your own. ChatGPT doesn't need to do all the thinking for you. I mean, you have writer's block, you need to create a letter of recommendation for someone, and you just need it done quickly. Yes, absolutely. Or you want a lesson plan idea or some professional development idea based on a book that you just read and you're not quite sure how to outline it. Yes, dump that into ChatGPT to help you because you can spend hours trying to think of some things and trying to create something that could take minutes. But if you're trying to use it to do your homework for you and turning that in for you, not a good idea because it's not your work. You can help use ChatGPT to help you with ideas on getting you started with your homework. And even if your professor or your teacher's like, put it in ChatGPT, see what it spits out, and see if it's what you were thinking. Absolutely. So let's hop over to ChatGPT and see what we can do quickly and how can it make us more efficient. If you've never seen ChatGPT before, again, go back to my introduction video. But if you've seen it and you're like, there, it just doesn't look very user friendly, take a moment, stop. It is. And let me just do a quick overview. First of all, there is what we call a sidebar. I call it a dashboard. You can open and close it. All of these things are my chats, like having a conversation with someone, kind of like texting. Someone says something, you send something back, like that, a back and forth kind of dialogue. These up here are my chatbots that I created. That's another day. And you also have other things about with GPTs. But we're not going to explore that. What we're going to do is we're going to click here. How can I help you today? And these statements or questions change every time you select and create a new chat. This is the chat feature. For those of you that remember back in the day when we had AOL, and you could chat and someone else could chat back with you, the difference is you were chatting with some human you didn't know. Well, here you're chatting with a bot that's pulling data from all types of database locations and the internet if you have the paid version. This 3.5 free version, 4.0 paid version. So educators, think about one question that or a statement that you would like to know about. And I'm going to tell you every time I would say, just say, what is ChatGPT? Like I would ask it that. Like, what is ChatGPT? Like that's always going to be my first question because you kind of want to know. And it's going to spit out some jargon that you're like, that is not what I want to read. And it tells you it's generative pre-trained transformer models. It should say it's a language, it's a language model, and it tells you who it's developed by. And you're like, yeah, but I really don't understand. Tell me like I am in grade 8. Like, yeah, that's a lot. So just want you to see that you can, this is what we call a query. We are querying, we're putting input in there and we're asking it a question. Like I've inquired about what ChatGPT is. There it is. It's imagine you are a super robot friend that reads, and if you scroll, by the way, it stops moving. That reads almost everything on the internet, but doesn't actually know anything about the world itself. The friend called ChatGPT is really good at chatting and can help answer questions you have, whether it's for homework, explaining stuff like science concepts, etc. That's kind of a good explanation. And then if you're like, but what is really GPT? You again watch my other video on what that is. But if you're an educator and you're like, just let's inquire. What can you what can you do for me as a teacher in high school that teaches calculus? Calculus. Just ask it. We're going to inquire. Let's see what it says. How homework help and explanations, generating practice problems, and it's slower. When I mean slower, I mean so much faster than some things, but it's 3.5 is a lot faster. Lesson plan assistance, real world applications. And okay, so once it finishes this, now we're going to do what I call a command. We're going to make it tell us something. And we're going to go with real world applications. And I'm going to say, find a Common Core state standard in California for calculus and give me one example problem and performance task and real world application as in number 4. Telling it what to do. I'm commanding it, okay? Doesn't specifically include calculus. Yes, it does. Okay, I'm going to stop it. That is so not true, and we're going to let it do what it's doing. While it's thinking, I'm going to go to California. Common Core State Standards, calculus. Let's see if it has something in here, because if I'm wrong, I'm just wrong. Oops. Right here, page 116. Let's go to page 116. Am I on page 116? No, I'm on page 109. Let's go. That has some, okay. Higher mathematics. Okay, right here. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna copy it and be like, I'm just gonna copy, I like page 120. And we're just gonna copy these. And I'm gonna tell it it was wrong, which, it doesn't like when it's wrong. Okay. Really, I'm gonna get this because I really want this. I'm gonna make it smaller so I can get the whole thing. So we're gonna do here the calculus. We're just not gonna take all of them. We're just gonna take some of them. Okay, and we're gonna say, thank you. And here are the California calculus standards. Put it in, I'm just putting it in quotes just because I feel like I should, and that is not what I copied, is it? Let's make sure I got it. Let's just do these. That's better. But here's the other thing is just for proof for it, I'm going to download this bad boy and I'm going to, because I have the paid version, I'm going to upload it. Make sure we find it because sometimes it doesn't want it. I'm in the desktop, that's why. Okay, here they are. I gave you all the mathematics standards. Try again. You were wrong. It won't like that I told it you were wrong, but it's going to read the standards. I'm just giving you an idea of what you can do with ChatGPT. I don't want you to feel like this is something you have to do, but you can play around with it. You might realize that you can, let me give you one that every teacher gets, every principal gets, every AP gets, every teacher that has a friend that's going into a new role or wants to apply for one. Can you write me a reference letter? You can upload that person's resume, say, this is how, and then write in there, this is how long I've known this person. This is how we work together. This is what we did together, blah, blah, blah. Write me a 1-page reference letter for this person, for this school district, for this role. And it will spit it out like that. Okay, so here's what I wanted you to see. Thank you for providing the calculus standards. Based on the detailed standards provided, let's create an example problem, a performance task, and discuss a real-world application. Students demonstrate knowledge of both the formal definition and graphical interpretation of the limit of values of functions. Evaluate the limit. So it gives you that, it gives you the solution, it gives you the standard, it gives you the task. A ball is thrown vertically upwards with a velocity of, it gives you that. 20 minus 9.8. That's the time. So there's some terminal velocity in here. Meters per second meters per second squared. And it goes, see, I like this. Like this for me as an educator, I'm already like, I'm thinking how to integrate this with physical science and physics. So this makes me, this is what it can do. Like it did that for me. And considering the state standards in California, we want kids to do performance tasks. That's real world. So that's one thing you can do. And you could ask it to elaborate on all of these. Now I'm going to go up here to click chat again, see how it changed all of these. And now I'm going to say, I really want to use ChatGPT as a teacher. I'm just not sure how. If my students in grade 10 could use the platform, what could I use GPT for? Like just, and because some school districts are going to start using it. They're going to, and I believe ChatGPT is going to have a platform that school districts can pay for that makes the data safer, where students won't just throw things in. It'll be like their GPT, like this GPT that's mine, but it's still public because I made it public. So you writing and composition, research assistant, language learning, math problems, science exploration, history and science studies. Like if you have a book, like, and I'm going to leave it in this one, consider the book, The Grapes of Wrath. Okay. Now I'm going to, let's see, The Grapes of Wrath. How can I use this book in ELA, math, science, and history for my grade 10 students? Like, just Grapes of Wrath. Like it's a book that many of you have read. You know the premise of the Grapes of Wrath, and first of all, just learning about how the title came about, and then learning about oppression and trying to get to a place where you can provide for your family. So, like, see economic impact, statistical projects, budget and finance, ecology and environment, climate, discuss the health issues faced by migrant. I mean, just, okay. This makes my mind go, okay, fully integrated. I'm an ELA teacher. I'm a math teacher. I have a team of teachers that I know my students are shared with in grade 10 for the most part, maybe not all. I want to use this book and really show students why ELA, math, science, and history tie together. This right here. And like all the stuff that you think, all the stuff, or all the things that people are saying, labor movements, migration patterns. It will make, this right here will make students love reading. Like you first read The Grapes of Wrath, you're like, oh my gosh, this is like down and out. But if you do it from this perspective, you will make students want to earn a living. Oh, this is very profound. And there's so many things you can do with ChatGPT. And this is just the beginning. And in the description, I gave you the link to The Future of AI by the US Department of Education. Click on the link and you'll get, the download will get sent to you. Just fill out the form and get on my email list. I will share when my YouTube videos come out, things about ChatGPT, things about how to provide professional development about AI, how to support your staff if they want to use it. And when your school district has a scope and sequence or policy around using ChatGPT, you'll be way ahead of everybody. So click on that and remember to subscribe, and please comment. Like, tell me anything. Like, tell me what I can do with ChatGPT. How can I use this? How can I, integrate it in my classroom? And tell me how you're using it. I'm really curious. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much again for joining me, and thank you for hanging out on my channel. I look forward to seeing you in my next video.